welcome to Mitchell's World. Today I have something a little different for you. Today we're just going to go over my visit to Astronomicon. Now, I was given a press pass along with my buddy Nico and David, who both have YouTube channels as well. And I'm so gracious. It was so fun to get this and to go out into this new convention, first year convention, and see all the cool stuff they got going on. And now, to be honest, when we first got there, or before we got there I should say, we didn't really know what it was going to have. It just said it was like a pop culture convention. And when we got there, it had mostly horror stuff. Like it had like those little scary teddy bears with the faces melted off, and they had a bunch of little scary props and stuff like that, and old comic books that were more horror related. But they also had a pretty nice collection of video games, old vintage video games. And those were awesome. I love those. They had a huge amount of them, real good quality ones, and that made it so fun for me because I love old vintage video games. Along with old vintage comics, which they had an okay amount, not too many, but if you were looking for real quality, they had some quality. They had a first edition Black Panther, which was really cool to see, and they had a lot of rare ones. Not a lot of other ones that are just kind of cool but cheap too, so you can buy them. But they had mostly quality, which if you're looking for that, absolutely go for it. And also too, when we were going through everything, there was a spot for kids, like, you know, to build stuff, like a little, like, so the parents can do whatever they want to do, whatever. And one of the interviews we had, which I'll leave a link in the description for Nico's video, who goes in a lot more detail with everything. I just wanted to give my opinion, because I really love the convention. But when it comes to the kids stuff, if I had kids, I would probably steer away from it, just because it was mostly horror stuff. Now, if you don't mind having your kids see that stuff, why not? But we did have one interview where someone said that they liked how it was kid-oriented. I don't know. I wouldn't say that with horror stuff, with as much as they had and what kind they had. I would think about it before bringing your kids. But you know, that's completely up to you. If you don't mind it, go ahead. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. We met a lot of great people. We did a lot of great interviews. Like, there's icons like Kane Hodder there, who played a large portion of the Jasons in the Friday the 13th movies. Now, those movies, I really enjoy those movies. Those are great movies. And he was really, really nice guy. And that was really cool to be able to talk to him and everything. And there's also guys like Ming Chen, who is in Comic Book Men, sorry. But he was really cool. He was jumping right in that interview. Looked at the microphone and was like, hey, you know, like, he just started going. He was such a nice guy. And it was a really fun experience. I would recommend it, definitely. And yet again, if you guys are kind of hesitant to bring your kids, it might be different next year since this is a first year con. They might change it because they had about half horror and then half like video game and action figures. But either way, even if they change it a little bit next year, I'm more than likely gonna go, because it was a fun time. It had a lot of stuff that I enjoyed in it, especially the games. And the comics were cool too, but I just like to see bigger variety. But it wasn't half bad, especially for a first con. I really liked it. And if I had to rate it, I would rate it, I'd do it 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But I'm looking forward definitely to next year. And I gotta say, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Were you at Astronomicon? Did you want to go and didn't go? Are you excited for next year? Let me know. And, as always, have a good one.